So last night at midnight, Death Angel dropped a new song.
Yeah.
Nobody was really expecting that until this week when you started dropping hints on social
Yep.
media.
Yep.
So I guess first question, what sparked that timing?
Well, the timing was because our tour is coming up. So we're about to go out on this Act 3 tour that starts this month.
November 26th at Denver, first day, right?
Yep. Actually, though, we added this event on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a
But
kind of
that's
a
not
special
open to the
event.
public, right?
It is open to the
Is
public.
it open to the public?
Yeah, it's
People can come down to Jose's
it's a
studio?
benefit.
Okay.
It's a benefit. It's for his. It's the proceeds are going towards his. I don't know if it's his foundation or what. It's his charity.
Oh, okay. So
Metalheads.
Jose Mangan has
for
his
Science.
own. Yes, the Metalheads for Science
Metalheads for
scholarship
Science.
program.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys are going to play at his studio at the Affliction Store in Los Angeles
Yeah.
as a benefit
Yes.
for the scholarship program Metalheads for Science.
Yes. So
Nice.
it's like a limited audience. I don't know, maybe 200 max or something, and it's a special thing because it's literally a live dress rehearsal pre-production thing that these people are gonna be able to see us stumble through our set and try to get it together.
So
But yeah,
tell me about the new song.
Okay, so new song. It's called "Cult of the Used," and it's our first song that we released since "Wrath Bring Fire," which came out earlier this year.
But kind of popped up again this week with a video that
Popped
had a
up-
lot of live performance in it.
Yep. We filmed all that stuff during the Summer of Wrath tour in Europe over the summer, obviously. So yeah, we just threw that out there because and also maybe to throw people off so they wouldn't expect that we have another new song coming out with a video for it too. So yeah, you got to check it out to see what it's all about. It's total Death Angel song, and that song was chosen because it kind of, to me, like will fit in our set that we do on the Act 3 live set, where of course we do Act 3 in its entirety, and then there's like another act of songs that we're choosing that are not our typical songs that we normally play either. So it's been very challenging playing some harder to play live songs, but it's really cool and fun.
Are they still surprises, or can you tell me what one of those would be?
I'll tell you one of those.
What's the most challenging?
Cult of the Used.
The new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's new and it's really tricky to play and sing and do all the stuff at the same time, vocal harmonies and stuff. So.
And your muscle memory isn't quite there yet.
Yes, that one definitely is like more reps, and there's like a lot of, because Act 3 it fits too, because on Act 3 there's like a lot of singing. I didn't realize until we were rehearsing all the songs that like I'm singing on every song on Act 3, every song. So, and lead on some songs, and definitely a lot of harmonies and background stuff. So there's a lot of playing and singing and stuff that I haven't done for 35 years since the last time we played some of these songs. So that in of itself is brain splitting. And then so the new one is even to the next level, because at least the Act 3 songs, there's some muscle memory in there that like stayed for 35 years. It kind of came back kind of quicker.
Scary,
it was really weird. Mark said the same thing too. Mark's like, strangely, it was really easy to bring this album back up. Like it just, because we did it so much at that time, it's like somehow it retained the muscle memory. But there's no muscle memory with new stuff. So we're getting it. It's getting better and better. But that song also has vocal harmonies and kind of stuff that so that's why that's the one to do in the Act 3 set.
It's kind of complementary to the Act 3 era.
Yes, but not to like. Don't get me wrong. Like people are gonna go like, that doesn't sound like anything from Act. I'm not saying it sounds like something from Act 3. Just for our new stuff, to me it's complementary to that set.
Okay, so let's talk about new stuff. We've got 2 songs now, which just begs the question: how many more are there in the wings?
I'm not gonna say, because that's just the way I am.
Okay.
But there may or may not be more songs in the wings.
Hypothetically, if there are more songs in the wings,
Yeah.
and you guys are doing the tour this month, are you saving the idea of an album cycle for future, or are you kind of just throwing the idea of an album cycle out the door right now?
No, it's definitely not out the door. It's saved for the future. The timing needs to be right. We need a big chunk of clearance of time to properly support a full length album, and for all the effort it takes to release a full length album. That being said, our next album will be our 10th album, and I'll be damned if we stop short of 10. I'll be damned if we stop short of 10, and like most of it's written already. So
You just said you weren't going to tell me that.
no, I thought we were talking about like more singles.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like these.
So it's written. It's not recorded. It may not be recorded, depending on how much where it is in the process. We may or may not see more songs before the end of the year.
Yeah, we definitely haven't.
Okay.
I can say that we haven't begun recording the album, but there are absolutely demos, recordings of the music and songs that are like being created, and it's been happening for years. The songs that are being released, the singles that we have, they were made to be singles. We're not, so it's like a different mindset from the album that has its own entirety of the collection of songs that belong together for a record.
Okay.
It's just taken, we're not rushing the process, and also just due to, life and scheduling and things, it's just the timing wasn't right. We need clearance to do the full thing going, and it hasn't happened as of yet. So, and then now it was the 35th anniversary of Act 3 this year. Next year's the 40th anniversary of our debut album, The Ultraviolence. So these things kind of like inspire us to do some live activity based on those records because of those milestone, celebrations of those birthdays.
Does that give you a little bit of leeway with some of the live promoters that kind of insist on a new album before they'll have you back, kind of thing? I know there's like a rumor that in Europe you can only tour so long on an album before they're like, new album before we book you again.
I mean, in general, that kind of does make sense, but I see people touring on the same album for forever. We've been doing it now since Humanicide from 2019. Definitely going. I don't want to think about it. How much time has elapsed.
Well, the pandemic did kind of throw everyone for a loop.
The pandemic did something there, and we've done different things here and there. We just try to make the best of the situation. So you kind of learn to pivot instead of sit there just in anguish that things aren't going exactly how you want them to go. So during this time, I've come to evolve myself in such a way, and I think the whole band has had to because of all the stuff. So, we're
Be like water.
Yeah, we're in a good space. We did have a moment there of being very antsy and like kind of upset that we weren't able to do this or that, or things went this way or that. But
things happened fast and unexpectedly, and then they kind of compounded, got a little worse, and now you guys seem to be over that hump for the most part.
Yes, I think so. At least currently, you never know what's gonna happen next week. But you come to accept that such is the way in this, especially in this business. We're not the only ones that have to deal with changing circumstances, and like you need to get through it. Pick your sorry ass up off the ground, slap yourself around, take some deep breaths, and then just see what you're gonna do next. And
I think a lot stemmed from the lack of communication, because there was a secrecy involved, and now everything's out. So there's kind of more open communication lines, right?
Yes. There's the communication is definitely improved as of late. Circumstances still, but again, like there's always like Gilda Radner said on Saturday Night Live, if it's not one thing, it's another. It was Rosanna Dana, and damn if that ain't true.
Yeah.
So it really, If it isn't one thing, it's another. So we're used to that by now, and it just it actually does make you grow as a person if you utilize it the right way and keep your head together, and it does make you better at dealing with shit, or excuse me,
That's
dealing
all right. You can bleep it.
dealing with stuff, because there's always stuff to deal with. So now that, and then you also like realize that it's kind of weird because these things inadvertently send you down different paths. So if things didn't happen as they did, we wouldn't even be doing Act 3 right now. But the idea came out of because of one thing to the other, and then so since we weren't able to deal with our new album right now, like what are we gonna do? And then through our conversations, it came up. I must admit, I was a hard sell at the beginning. It was never a plan to do this. Like, it wasn't like eventually we're gonna do that. It was just like we just move forward. Like, I'm not trying to like milk stuff from the past or whatever. But it just happened, and actually Ted was very instrumental in convincing me, and
band archivist and biggest Death Angel fan.
Yes.
He's the guy that kind of like, he's the conduit for like, fans really want this.
He really is.
You're the never looking back guy.
Oh man, Ted's a huge secret weapon in our camp, in our band, in our existence, in our entity, and he and I talk a lot about. He'll bring things up that I wouldn't think of from that point of view, and vice versa. But in the end, it was like this year's the 35th anniversary of that album, and we never played that whole album in its entirety. We may have on the original Act 3 tour in 1990. I can't remember the exact set list. Of course, it was kind of a while ago.
It was a minute.
I know we played most of the songs. It's possible we played all of the songs within the set. So at that time, if you caught us on that tour, then
but also
you would
back
see
then, the whole playing an album in its entirety wasn't the thing.
No, we didn't play it that way. It was interspersed within a normal set, like song here, then but like all the songs may have gotten played in that set
eventually.
But since then, we've never played many of those songs. We've only played a handful of them. We just moved on from that, and we have a lot of albums, so we got to just pick. We're not going to sit there, and we don't normally play a huge chunk of songs off one particular old album. It's just mixed up with all around. So there you go. Now it's Act 3 is like in its entirety, meaning like from front to back, like it starts and it ends on like it's like the whole album in a row. So it's really exciting, like to do it that way. It's cool because it sounds like the album.
And then right before intermission, you're gonna add the new song and then have the second part of the set that is.
We're still working out exactly how we're gonna do it.
'Cause it sounds like an epic set.
It's an epic set, and then to be cute, we are doing it in like 3 acts. Okay, so there's Act 1, then there's like a slight pause, then a second act of songs, pause, and then a third. So I don't even want to say, because we're still dealing with how we're going to present it. So I'm not even saying necessarily that we're starting with Act 3. It may or may not go that way. But Act 3 will happen in its entirety, like in its own.
Death Angel is a band in 3 acts, if you think about it, right? There's the inception, the breakup, the reformation, and now a huge body of work since the Reformation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we're kind of going full circle back to the beginning, but also with a new album on the deck.
It's pretty amazing to be able to be in that position. I understand that it's not many people have been around, like stayed together that long. Like we're hitting 40 years on our first album. We've been around. We were together years before that, so we're one of those guys that's been around that long. And so that was kind of one of the things talking to Ted about it. Because me and Mark are definitely in the idea of moving forward. We're not like to deny your past, but we just were very adamant about not being stuck on like living from your past. Like you got a couple new songs. Oh well, everyone just wants to hear the song from 1980, whatever. So we were like, we wanted to make sure that our new material would be relevant and people would like it, and then we'd play the old stuff and mix it up and you get one or the other, you get a combination, but it's not just like a lot of bands are that way. I'm not trying to, it happens. So a lot of times you're at the show and you're just kind of bored until you hear that one old song that you know. And I get it because
nostalgia's powerful.
It is though. It is. So that's why kind of Ted made me realize that, and don't look at it like we're trying to use it like as a for any wrong reason.
Yeah.
He's like, understand that.
It's not a setlist crush.
No.
Crutch. It's
absolutely. This is Cyrus.
Have you met Cyrus?
Hi, baby. So yeah, there and fortunately, I feel like when we do play, people react. The overall reaction in the crowd is equal across the board when we play one of our newer songs or one of our older songs. There's like a combination of newer fans and older fans where some people get totally excited when they hear an older song, and then some of these younger people don't hardly know those songs. They know our modern songs.
You
with
have
this
a whole
lineup.
new collection of songs that you have to play because that's the nostalgia songs for that generation.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And for each album, there's like strong songs that happened from each of those albums, and we played them so much and pushed them and believed in them, like seriously, really believed in our new music, to a point where it put us in that position that we were hoping for, so we can play we play songs from basically from our first to the last record. I always try to make the set list have at least a song from every album if we have that much time. It's like, it's kind of a challenge, but it works.
But also some bands kind of don't get to do that.
They don't.
Their new stuff just kind of sits there and it gets purchased by a handful of hardcore fans, and then they're stuck just reliving their old catalog to sell tickets, because it's a good position to be in.
It is, and I think we're fortunate to be there, and we got there just, I think, by just being as authentic as possible. Whenever we were working on new music, we literally gave it everything we got. Like, it wasn't like, let's just try to get this over with, let's just pull it off so that we can go on tour and then live off our old stuff. We're like, sometimes we're just like, let's not even play any of the old stuff. Like, it's like, no, though, you don't want to do that. Like, you got to throw people a
You don't want to see that 155-year-old guy in the back going,
no.
play my...
And I get it. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm at, of course, I want to see a song that I love from you, as a fan, you're hoping for that. I was about to say that you owe it to the fans that from the artist's point of view, but no, you don't. You don't. Sorry, you don't owe anybody anything. But I do consider that.
It's a nice thing to do.
It really is, and I want to. I'm in the idea of wanting the people to be happy from what they are expecting or hoping that's going to be delivered. I don't want to pull the card of well, we do whatever we want, and just people are like, what was that? I didn't even understand what they did. And well, that's my art. And and I get it. You can do that, but then I don't know. I don't want people to be disappointed. I want people to be stoked when they leave that show.
You take your music seriously, but not yourself that seriously.
That's true.
You can step back and be humbled by the fan demand.
Yes, I want people leaving smiling, and high-fiving that they loved that show.
So tell me about the new song. Where did it come from?
Where do these things come from? It came from out there. It came from out there, went into here, ended up processing in there, and then came out of there and there.
Okay.
That's how it was, and
that was super visual.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what happened. Because this song is definitely inspired from what was going on out there, as opposed to some stuff that's starting from in here.
Okay. What was happening at the time?
What is still happening.
Okay.
Whereby,
chaotic
how
world.
can I say it? Chaotic world.
Okay.
Yes. It's a depiction of society that's hypnotized and deceived and taken advantage of by who's ever doing the hypnotizing.
A story old as time.
It really is. And so it was happening a lot these days, and inevitably you're that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was feeling, but at the same time I'm typical. I don't want to write an obvious typical, but sometimes it is that way. Like it's that what else? So I'm just gonna dodge the subject because I don't want to be typical. Like so I instead of that I try to lyrically I try to present it in a way that it's showing that what I said, like the hypnotism and manipulation aspect of things. I'm not trying to like get all this side, that side, or pointing fingers at each other. I'm trying to say that it's happening to everybody by that up there.
Yeah.
So like maybe think about that and don't like just like we were cool but now we're not cool because that entity, their plan is working and now we are dividing when we didn't even have to like before that. Like we were
It's its
fine
own frustration because you feel like you can't say what you mean because somebody else is going to take what you said and make it mean something else.
That's the part, exactly. That's the part I
And
focus on. Like because it's being experienced with friends,
It's hard to ask and answer questions just because of it.
right? And everyone
I can
we
feel
know,
your tension right now.
everyone we know
I
has
know.
like a friend or two or some people, and even worse, family members, like literally their parents and like other people, where you know you just the conversation, like it's like getting people static with each other, and that wasn't really. It's like not necessary. Like people could have different points of view, but I think the machine is working its thing on everyone and causing that to like really happen like in a big way. Mm-hmm. So it's pointing that out, and then it kind of urging you to like let that go and don't and understand that that's happening and don't feed into that. Put it that way.
So we know Death Angel's plan through the end of the year. The Act 3 tour across the U.S., and then it ends with another Death Angel Christmas at the Fillmore in San Francisco for the first time.
That's going to be awesome.
2 nights.
Yes.
I think there are still, don't quote me because I haven't checked this week, but I think there are still tickets for the second night, the Friday night.
There are still tickets, like, it's almost sold out.
Okay, so there may or may not be by the time this happens.
Yeah. It's getting close. So, yeah, 2 nights at the Fillmore, you know, just that alone is like severe bucket list to me. So like I'm super excited about that. Well, the second night, that is even like, that's just like, what is happening? Like, you know, we were apprehensive to take it to the Fillmore for one night just because we didn't want to like, all of our Christmas shows, nine of them running, have sold out. Every single show, 2 nights, they're all sold out. And we're super proud of that. And we were thinking, you know, going to the Fillmore, you might, because we know that some people go both nights, so you couldn't count like
right.
you know, the total of the 2 nights would eequal the Fillmore. But we're like, yeah, like half the people are there both nights, so
because the Fillmore is double the capacity.
It's double the capacity
of Slim's, and I think it's 50% more than Great American. So you're going way up in capacity.
Way up.
And
you can't count the repeat people. They have to be like all
I don't want to say you're
people.
going up in prestige, but like the legendary Fillmore
Oh,
started
yeah.
in 1960.
The legendary
with Phil
Fillmore.
Graham, and you
It's
know,
my favorite venue. It was always my favorite venue in the city.
People
Like,
want to know, will there be a poster?
that's what I want to know. I've pushed for that so hard that
Yeah.
by now, like literally, our agent and management are like, okay, already, let's focus on other
So
things. Like
maybe.
yeah, like I just keep going. You know,
Okay.
they make those posters. They're like, yeah, we got the memo. We're
kind of a
pushing
thing.
for that.
Okay.
But they do make those. Like I've got a handful myself, and they make them when the show's sold out, and they give them to the fans on the way out. Like I've had those, and the show is sold out, if not 2 nights. So come on now, like that'll be. And if they hang it in the Fillmore, like on the legendary wall of like, then I'll just be, because of course we're from San Francisco. Come on.
And this is
Born
Death
and
Angel-
raised in San Francisco and been to the Fillmore since we were little kids and looking at all those posters. We are on there real small because the when we played with
The
Metallica.
Metallica?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, that was at least we are on the wall, and that's good enough. But this is it's our show, so that'll make me
This is Death
very
Angel's
happy.
first headline at the Fillmore, right?
headline at the Fillmore. Exactly. So that's bucket list maximum to me.
I'm very excited for that.
And then it's being the last 2 nights of the tour, that also worked out by design too, because we in theory, we should be as on fire for those shows as we could be, because we've been doing it for a month already, and like we come, and then we're like excited because we're home from tour. We're like, you know, whenever you pull into the Bay Area from U.S. tour, you're just like, oh, because home, and then you know, you just. But then on top of that, we go straight to the Fillmore. We don't even go home. We go to the Fillmore to load in, and then you know, then all your friends and everyone are going to be coming that night. It's just like it takes everything to the highest level of like total.
So you've got to work out that set list while you're on the tour.
Exactly.
Which means you got to start rehearsing what, the Beatles tune, a couple Christmas tunes.
We've already been.
Yeah? You got them already?
We started rehearsing for this tour in July. This is the longest and hardest we ever rehearsed and prepared for a tour, ever, like easily ever. Easily.
Nice.
In July, we're already dealing with the Christmas show and the whole tour, like, and we've been going at it hard ever since. So now we're in the final, now it's gonna really get real. Like this week, Tilo, our front of house sound engineer, is bringing his entire, you know, board into the rehearsal room, and like we're like going the whole, like now we're doing the full. It's gonna get really.
I'm excited for you though.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm just trying to.
And I remember for
chill.
a minute you were not going to add the second show at the Fillmore.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, come
Yeah, yeah.
on, it'll sell.
You were one of the people that got me to. You were one of the people. There was a handful of people that was trying to convince us, including the Fillmore, and but again, we're like, no, let's not push our let's not push it, like, and it's like, no, let's do it, and there you go. Now it's looking pretty good, so that's pretty freaking exciting.
Is there a plan for 2026 yet, or is everything still kind of on hold because of everybody else?
Things are being planned.
Okay.
Things are being planned. We have already announced like a handful of festivals. We're definitely doing the latter summer Europe festivals. So there's like 5 or 6 that have been announced by now. Alcatraz and Bloodstock, and ones we didn't play earlier this year, the other side of the summer out there. So that's definitely happening. And we're talking about trying to do the Act 3 tour some more. So if this one turns out well, this is kind of like, we have to see how it goes. And if this one turns out well, we're talking about doing another North American leg, because we're, of course, only able to hit so many. There's only going to be like 20 shows on this tour, and everyone's like, oh, you're not playing. Oh, no, there's no Florida. Which I know we can't play everywhere. Sorry, not at one time. But so there's that to do, and hopefully we could do the Act 3 thing in Europe, maybe Japan, and I think we'd stop there. The reason for that is because that would recreate the original Act 3 tour. We're just, being nostalgic like that. We did a U.S. tour, we did a European tour, and then we concluded in Japan. So that would be
pretty
that'd
cool.
be cool. So that's what we're hoping for, and still working on our new music along the way in the cracks of time.
Do you think there will be an album by 26?
Released in 26, I'd have to say that might be wishful thinking.
Okay.
But it's not impossible, and I'm dying to record these songs.
Yeah.
So we're really, trying to make it happen.
Has anything surfaced thematically on the new album? Because you guys don't do, not theme albums, but there is kind of always an overarching vibe.
Maybe kind of a little bit, but it's way too early to,
Sure.
divulge any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it may just not go that way, but yeah. Cool stuff, though.
Yeah.
Definitely cool stuff.
I think we've run out of light.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Is there anything else we were going to talk about?
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down.